Hey guys, it's Vince. Today in this video, I have been asked to do a collaboration of a product review for a Amazon seller. And honestly, I get this offer quite a bit. Unfortunately, most of the products that I'm asked to review really don't go with the genre of the channel, nor do I think many of you would find it interesting. This is something that I feel many of you, myself included, would use. This is a compressed air duster. It's model ST-6658. It's got a claim on the box of 130,000 RPM and 200 grams of blowing force. Again, you can see in comparison to the scale of my hand versus the size of this box, that is an extreme amount of speed for a fan to be turning if this actually does reach that speed. That being said, just looking at the packaging, it is very nicely packaged, and I'm saying this mainly for the vendor because, again, this is a no-holds-barred review, and I, as a vendor myself, would want to present my products in the best format I could for my clients. That being said, if we turn it over to the side of the box, you've got the safe operation manual. And what I recommend for the vendor is there are some misspelled words here, and things aren't spaced properly. Right here we've got DC brushless motor, and motor is misspelled. You guys definitely want to look at how you're spelling things. And the main reason I say that is it really dictates in end user form what the quality of a product is. I cannot tell you how many clients of mine will say, well, it's got misspelled words all over it, and naturally it doesn't necessarily indicate that the quality of the product is bad, but it's kind of like not reading a book from cover to cover. So you really want to make sure you cover those details, and I would definitely, it's very easy to correct misspelled words. That being said, product models listed: rated voltage 7.2 volts, rated input 5 volts, and it says or 1.5 amps. Dust capacity is 0.35 liters. Interface type C, and that would be for USB. The material is made out of is ABS, and once again, it is a DC brushless motor, and MOTER is what they've put. It should be MOTOR. So again, looking at this, packaging is nice. Let's see what we have inside. Now, one thing I've noticed right away is this unit does not open easily, in the sense that you would think this would be a slide, meaning that this cover is a slide. Now, once again, I'm going to draw this attention to the vendor. I would make sure that the internal box could slide through this external sleeve. And the reason I say that, if somebody wants to return this, it's going to save you the hassle of having to repackage everything, because they can just slide it right back into the sleeve. Okay, so I will grab a razor here so I can at least remove this sleeve, because I don't see of another way to do this. It's definitely not breaking free. I'm just going to make a slight incision here so I can get in. And there we go. So looks like there wasn't any glue on the sleeve, but this definitely was not sliding out, and I'm assuming it's probably because right here on this lip where it joined, it had too much friction on this box. So that being said, let's see what we've got here. Let's see how this opens. Once again, we've got pockets right here. Let's see if we can get this without damaging anything. Okay. Got our user's manual. And again, this is something that we should look at just to make sure everything else. Once again, we have the misspelled words inside there. It does have a knob on it as a potentiometer to switch clockwise to adjust speed. So that's really, really cool that we can adjust the volume of air coming out of her. Product disassembly and cleaning. Looks like it has a mini filter in it. It's on this side. Charging indicator light, start button, knob switch, charging port. Okay, it's got an extension rod, brush head. So this actually looks interesting. Let's see. Fold out. And this is the complete instruction manual. So again, not rocket science here. Pretty much self-explanatory as far as what you have as an extension rod, different brushes, and what you may need to use. Brushes feel good, bristles are nice. These feel really nice. And I like nylon brushes for one reason, guys. If you're doing delicate cleaning, like on your 3D printer, or you're doing your linear rails, this is really nice to work with. Now, if you're working with sawdust, just be careful because these will get clogged too, but they're easy to rinse. So these are really nice. This is actually really well made. You can feel it. They've got a little bit of rigidity to them, so that's good. This one's a little finer, I guess, for doing more intricate type stuff, and I can definitely see using this on the Method, my MakerBot Method printer. Okay, and a little adapter brush. Something else I really like for this application, depending how strong it is I would love to use it in the car when you're detailing, because again, I'm pretty much a car clean fanatic, and I like to keep everything as nice as possible. We got a nice little package, like a little bag that I guess you can accessory keep everything in. And then of course we have our USB cord, and I believe that's to charge it. Got the knob on the back, and it says off and maximum, so you can adjust this. Fan inside there is interesting. This is interesting. It appears, I don't know if that's metal, but it's definitely got a chrome finish on it. I'm pretty sure she can see that on camera. Here's our on-off button. Let's see if we can. Wow, definitely got some power, and it appears that you have to hold the button down for it to work. We're still not all the way max. It's amazing. Such a little fan and putting out such a large volume of air. Let's see what we have here as far as the nozzle. Okay, that you just would turn this counterclockwise. As a matter of fact, it's got an arrow on it. So we'll just come here and just rotate, and this will remove. So we can see here what's going on. There's the internal motor. You can see everything. Very nice compact unit. There's your USB charge port. Interesting. I mean, definitely has a large amount of air coming out of here. 130,000 RPM. I don't know about that, but it's definitely got a large amount of air coming out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this on the Method, and I'm going to use it for applications around the shop, and I'll show you the results I get with when I'm cleaning. Now, my cleaning is probably not going to be heavy duty cleaning. I wouldn't recommend anything like this. When I say heavy duty cleaning, you don't want to use it naturally in a shop that is completely saturated with sawdust or anything else ridiculous. This is more for precision type cleaning of keyboards, laptops, things of that sort. Your CNC controller, awesome for that. So these are ideas to give you guys, and once again, we will check that out. Let's see what we've got here. This looks like a filter, I think. And there we go. Wow, nice little filter module. That's actually very neat. And how does this work? It's got an actual cheat sheet on top of it as far as alignment decal. Line the center port and right turn the assembly. So let's see, I don't believe you would be using this. You would take this off, and then this, it looks like there's notches here, and they would just simply slide on, if I'm correct. I'm wondering, let's see, unless this goes on the back, and it does. So, we come over here and slide it on. So we'll install our fan, and this, let's see. So there's your intake, and you can actually see, this is very interesting. Your intake will open up. You can see air coming in, and then it closes, and it's actually filtering out your air. This is very, very nice. Very, very nice. Again, if you're working in a shop that has a lot of dust in the air, and we're saying larger particulate, I love the fact that there's a filter on here. That is awesome. And again, putting on our front flow director really works well. And you can see when it's in alignment, if it's out of alignment, you just rotate it. So we're just trying to make everything in alignment. I can see here that it's not only a compressed air duster, it also has a vacuum mode. And that would explain our filtration we have here. And again, very cool how this disassembles. We just take that off. We're going to then take out our wire, pull it out, and you can see we've got a mesh filter as far as a metal mesh filter and a fiber filter. Okay, now I think it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways, that this is most likely not going to be too powerful of a vacuum. If you're going to use it on something, I would highly recommend you use it on something that is light, and I would not use it with sawdust, let's say, or anything that would potentially cluster and clog up your filter. Of course, the metal one you'd be able to rinse, but not the fiber one. That's something that you definitely want to pay attention to. So vacuuming with this, I would be cautious with, but we'll check it and see what we've got. I could be completely wrong, and we'll test it. Other than that, you can see how it's actually showing to install the wand for vacuuming, and I believe that would just go in, wrong way, like that. And then our wand here, we'll match that up, goes in like this, and now essentially you have a vacuum. Let's see. Pull this off as well, although they're not showing this off, so I'm going to leave it on. We'll give it exactly as is in the picture. We've got a couple little particulates of styrofoam here. We'll see if we'll pick it up. Oh, I'm impressed. Picked it right up. And there you go. Caught everything in there. Got another piece here. You can actually see the particulate going in, and the filter is doing exactly its job. It looks awesome. Come over here. If I stand corrected, it's got quite a bit of power. Now, I would once again be cautious of not using heavy particulate, but you could see that actually picked that right up. And for packaging, or once again working with my 3D printer, I could see this being extremely useful, especially with the brush, because it loosens debris and naturally can pick it up as it loosens the debris. And again, I'm going to turn down the volume of air now. I want to just see how low this goes. It's also nice that it came charged. Okay, so that's off completely. So you've got complete volume control. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Oh yeah, so if you're doing any type of precision cleaning, you can go all the way to off versus anything in between. Very, very cool. So now what we're going to do is a practical test of using this, and I will use this during the week, and I'll finish up the video as I go through and use it to give you an idea of how well it cleans. Now once again, and I want to state this because I believe I'm speaking for the vendor as well, this again is not a heavy duty duster. If you are working in woodworking and you get an inordinate amount of dust, I would not recommend using this, or you're probably going to clog up your filter and it's just going to be a mess. The best thing you should be using then is something of more industrial use. Once again, this is a precision duster. So if you have, I do a lot of graphics, I'm doing a lot, like if my desk gets dusty, or if I'm working with fine particulates from wires or grinding or whatever, that's fine. It's very, very low dust. It's not going to clog and it's not going to cluster. That's what this is for. So very cool tool. I'm going to definitely try this and see exactly what kind of volume we can get out of it as far as its cleaning ability. And once again, I'll use it for what I feel it was designed to be used for. Something else I'm going to do, and I do this in all of my new electronics in the shop, and I recommend all of you to do this, get yourself the Oxid Gold, and any ports that you're going to be using, anything as far as USB, anything as far as batteries, anywhere where there's going to be electricity in DC or AC format, apply them to that. This is totally non-conductive, and it will protect all of your electronics so that they last as long as possible. And especially if you're using this outside or leaving it outside, you don't want any degradation from humidity. So it looks really well made, and we'll check it out, and once again I'll continue the video from there. Alright guys, I've got the duster here and I'm assembling one of my stay puts for a client, and I do have some particulate on my desk, and this is just from me cleaning any type of deburring that I do on any of the circles that actually mount the mounting bars for the standoff as far as the jaws. So coming over here, I want to just show you how to properly use this. And I know that sounds crazy because you're saying it's a duster. A lot of guys think that everything is going to come off just with the air. The idea is anything that's sticking, use the brushes in conjunction with the air. Now this is metal particulate and it is very fine. Let's see how we do right here. Now this is rubber mat. You can see it's coming right off. Any particulate that's sticking, use your brushes in conjunction with the air. This works really, really well. Just touch and gone. Making very quick use of how this works. And there you go. Now the other thing to keep in mind is I am leaving the filtration system on, and of course I'm not using the vacuum cleaner side. You do want to understand that when you leave this on, naturally it's going to filter the air, and that's really what you want, especially when you're dealing with small particulates. So please keep that in mind. Other than that, I would definitely make sure once again to charge this for 24 hours prior to use. I did that. I noticed that when it came in, the battery was, I thought fully charged. It was not. It was just basically demo charged, and I charged it, and now I'm set to go. I do see that there's a little more power, not much, but overall you can see what you're left with. This really works great with these brushes, and if you're doing fine work like a lot of my work is, this is fantastic. If you are using metal particulate like I just did here as far as what you're cleaning, I highly recommend you clean these brushes underwater so that you make sure that particulate is fully removed, especially if it's fine. All right guys, right here is an area that we work with graphics on, and naturally when you're doing lamination on graphics, if any of you are familiar with graphics, if you put laminate on and it gets dust in between the laminate and the vinyl, it looks horrible. And unlike painting where you can wet sand it out, you can't wet sand vinyl. Once again, the compressed air duster for this works awesome cleaning this area. Just touch it. And again, this is very light dust. It'll be just small particulates. So real easy. And you're all set with this area. Okay, so I've got my sheet of glass here, and again, the air duster I'm using on the graphic sheet, and again, this is our chrome vinyl. Fantastic for these applications. Okay, I've got my laminator here, I've got my overhead light, I'm doing the same thing. Oh, we just saw some stuff fly out. It's just that fast. Now again, I was using compressed air, but this is way more practical than you carrying the hose over and doing all that. So I cannot emphasize enough, any of you doing graphics, this is a must-have. All right guys, I'm working right now on setting up for a video, and this is very common. I'll unpack one of my enclosures and it'll have styrofoam in it. And if it has styrofoam in it, of course, you get those little popcorn pieces. Once again, the compressed air duster for this, awesome. Couple seconds. All you'll have to do then is, of course, sweep up your floor. My floor does need to be swept, but this works fantastic for that. And again, any electronic. Perfect. So right now, I'm just going through and getting set up, and you can see just how nice this is. This is an SMCU system, and once again, I'm going to be doing this build live. And as I'm going through, if you guys need to clean your controllers, something like this works perfectly, especially to do it on the fly. A lot of you guys have compressors, but it's not always the easiest to get to the controller. This being wireless is very, very quick. All right, guys, this is my MakerBot Method X. And of course, you've got your filament dryer and all that neat stuff. Many of you are familiar with 3D printing. I'm not going to go into that. But when you want to dust, this unit works amazing to dust everything off very quickly, especially in confined spaces. Something else that I really love to use this for, many of you may not even think of this, but when I wash my build plate and clean everything off, again, this is PEI on here, I'll use this after I wash it to dry it. It's more like a compressed air, but you're not going to have to carry around the tube and deal with all that crap. You can just take this and blow it off, and it will instantly or virtually instantly dry a build plate. So really, really cool. Something else for my guys out there that are running a business and are doing shipping. I just want to show you something real quick, give you an idea. If you're doing shipping, and I'm just going to dump out my glue sticks. You have a bag and you want to make a baffle. You can use this to fill your bag up, and again, if you fill it up with air in about half a second, you can then seal the bag, and now you have a shipping baffle. This is something you usually don't hear discussed, but I do a lot of shipping, and for using it for that application, it works amazingly well. So again, lots of different things you can do with this. For the car, it's once again, it's pretty much amazing, but using it on anything with electronics, or for that matter, anything that requires soft touch cleaning, this is going to be your best friend. And again, I think everybody should have one in their shop, especially if you don't have a compressor, a smaller type compressor. This will replace that. So keep that in mind. The only thing I can say that I really wish they would change, number one, the vacuum. I wish it had more power, of course. I think everybody wishes that. It's not a Dyson. But the front piece that directs the air, I wish that they actually had a piece, and it's very easy to make, that comes more to a fine tip for more of a pulse jet, so that you would actually do fine tip precision cleaning. Like if you wanted to get into tight spaces, that would be awesome. This one's about a 1-inch hole, and again, it still directs the air, but it's not as pressured as if this was more of a cylindrical, smaller space. You would get even higher airflow. The only reason I think that they may not have done that is because of the pressure of this fan. It is truly amazing the amount of air that this unit puts out. I mean, it's, you can see, and I'm sitting here, and just how far that is, it's pretty crazy. So again, I want to thank you all for your support. And I want to thank Eric, who sent me this unit to test. This is an amazing unit. And again, checking it out for the applications I've discussed, and many of you will find more uses. That's basically the only thing I could say that really would be a negative, if it's really a negative. It's just my own pet peeve as far as, once again, adding a little more pressure if that was possible. And of course, the vacuum, if we can make it a little stronger. But I think for general use around the shop, for anything with electronics, you guys will be golden. And I also love it to clean cameras. Take care.